Evening, YouTuber.
Hey.
Hello, Viper. How are you? I'm currently flying in.
Hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you, sir. I'm flying in FS or Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 at the moment. This is a Beechcraft Bonanza, which I've now put my own name on. So there's me, Bill 1949. Also on the side of the aircraft, and they refer to that when I use
Nice.
air traffic
I
control.
love that aircraft.
Yeah, it's nice. It's the closest I can get to a Cherokee, which is what I've taken a couple of fun lessons in. So that's about the closest I can get. But this actually holds a number of people. As you can see, there's actually 4 seats behind me, 2 facing back, 2 facing forward, and a luggage containing rack beyond that. Are you familiar with FS 2020?
Great, it's the mix of a 172 and a private jet. Sorry sir, not familiar, but I saw some streams.
Oh, Roger. Okay. Alright then, well I'm going to just start up, and I've got my nice favourite sky, which is wall-to-wall blue. That's just my favourite. I might put some clouds on another time. Let's just get started. Set the mixture fully rich, prop pitch fully forward, and I'll crack the throttle a little bit as I would do on a spit. And make sure the brake's on. Okay, I'll start the engine. First of all I have to operate the fuel pump switch until it bottoms out, so you'll hear the tone of it. You'll hear the tone, and then the tone will drop where it's fully pressurized, I guess. Now I believe I can start. But I'm too close to those pumps. I wouldn't want to make a turn, so I'll get a pushback. Brake off. And push back. And push back. And now I can make a turn to get myself to the runway, but I'm going to ask permission. I'm going to do it right.
South End ground, Beechcraft Bravo India Lima Lima 19er 49er ready to taxi departing straight out with Charlie.
Beechcraft Bravo India Lima Lima 19er 49er taxi to an hold short of runway 23 via taxiway. Contact tower on 127.7 tree when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 23 using taxiway Beechcraft 9er 49er.
Okay, here we go. We're departing from Southend Airport in UK. Whereabouts are you from there, Viper? Can't remember. I think I've spoken to you before, but I can't remember where you're from. When I get to the hold point, I'll ask permission for takeoff. And this airport is where I did a couple of fun flying lessons from.
I'm from North Africa in Morocco. I don't think we met.
Ah, okay. There must be a similar name then. Oh, very good. I don't think I've spoken to Morocco before, so welcome to my stream. Okay, there's the hold point just in front of us, so I'm throttling back and apply some brakes gently to get permission for takeoff.
Southend Tower Beechcraft Bravo India Lima Lima 19er 49er at runway 23 ready for takeoff straight out departure.
Beechcraft Bravo India Lima Lima 19er 49er cleared for takeoff runway 23 straight out departure approved.
Cleared for takeoff runway 23 Beechcraft 9er 49er.
Okay, that'll do for positioning. I think I'll give it some flaps, one division of flap.
MFS has stunning graphics. I've never seen such beauty in a simulator before.
Well, I think actually the graphics are very good, but some of the graphics in War Thunder are better. I think War Thunder is known for really good graphics. But yeah, these are quite good. I would just wish that it could be accurate to the reality, because this airport doesn't really look quite like this. Not really. In the old FSX, I did have Southend as an add-on airport, and it was accurate. It was very accurate. I used to take off from the Flying Club when I was in that flight sim, but this doesn't have that yet. Maybe it will. This is reasonably new. One division of flaps. Here we go, throttle up. And gear up and retract flaps.
I have to see War Thunder later. It's amazing what flight sims can do.
Oh yeah, I mean these flight sims, not War Thunder, but these flight sims like DCS and FSX, and this one, FS 2020, you can learn to fly an aircraft for real. Not so in War Thunder. In War Thunder you press one button, the engine starts. It doesn't work like that in reality, and it doesn't work like that in FS 2020 or DCS. DCS is an amazing simulator. I fly a Spitfire in that.
South End Tower Beechcraft Bravo India Lima Lima 19er or 49er for touch and
Oh,
go.
you reminded me of DCS Great Combat Sim, and yeah, War Thunder is the least thing you would want for a flight sim, haha.
Yeah, well, yeah, for a sim, but it's a good game. It is very good for combat, and you can get combat in the others, but there's a smaller player base, so getting combat, air combat in those is not so easy.
Beechcraft 9er, 49er, cleared touch and go left, traffic runway 23. Wind 272 at tree.
Cleared for touch and go runway 23 Beechcraft 9er or 49er.
To fly, I'm using, hang on. To fly, I'm using Track IR to see where I'm going, and to speak, I'm using voice attack, or rather to give commands, I'm using voice attack, which isn't necessarily totally reliable, and I've just lost the airfield. How did I do that? Oh, okay, I realised how much I drifted. That's because I was speaking, see?
Nice. I heard Trackire gives you the best immersion possible playing DCS and MFS.
I don't know about Track IR. Track IR does have its limitations. It is definitely not a magic bullet. If you have VR, I think that gives you a greater advantage. But Track IR is really good. I'm very comfortable with it. But certainly in War Thunder, I move my head a certain direction, and then all of a sudden, movement stops. I can't look any further. It won't let me. Okay, I'm going to make a turn now, and hopefully do a touch and go. So gear down, and I'll give it all the flaps. Okay, we're down. Flaps up 2 stick. And throttle up. Airborne, gear up.
butter landing.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. So I'll bring my flaps fully up. I'll do another touch and go. It's not giving me the option, so I'll do a full stop landing.
South End Tower Beechcraft Bravo India Lima Lima 19er or 49er to land.
Beechcraft Bravo India Lima Lima 19er or 49er South End Tower. Fly left downwind runway 23. Altimeter 29er decimal 9er to wind 272 at tree. Beechcraft 9er 49er cleared to land runway 23. Wind 272 at tree. Beechcraft 9er 49er, did you hear my last transmission?
Cleared
Gear
to land
down.
runway 23 Beechcraft 9er 49er.
Full flaps. For those who have joined, this is a Beechcraft Bonanza and I'm landing, having taken off and done a touch and go, I'm landing at Southend Airport in UK. Well, that was a bit bumpy, but it'll do.
Beechcraft 9er 49er exit runway when able.
Right, now I'm going to head
Beechcraft 9er
towards,
49er, turn next taxiway.
I'm going to go to where
Beechcraft
the
9er 49er contact ground on 127.73.
this is where the Southend Flying Club is, and it doesn't look anything like this. On the old FSX, where I had a purpose-built map, it was excellent. It looked perfect.
Beechcraft 9er 49er, please acknowledge.
Oh.
Going to 127.73 Beechcraft 9er 49er.
The club, the flying club, is pretty much there, and next to the flying club there is a circular tank. I don't know what it's for. It just holds water. I'm sure that many people would know what it's for, but there it is. There's a circular tank. If I jump out, I might see it better. No, not much better, but it's about 3 foot high. It's like a walled tank and it's open. It's about 3 foot high, about 25 feet maybe 20 feet in diameter, maybe. And this is where I would normally take off from in the old FSX program. It's a pity that we can't get those maps, the accurate ones, to run in this. Obviously, it have to be done specifically for FS 2020. If you want to see DCS, Viper, I'm quite happy to go to DCS if you want to take a look, or I can sit here for a minute while you respond, because there's a few seconds delay before you hear what I've just said. Flaps up.
Yeah, I'd love to if you have time.
Okay, I see that we have another couple of viewers. I'm not sure what platform they're on. Hold on. Okay, so we've got someone on Twitch and 2 on YouTube. If those other people would like to chip in also, perhaps you can let me know if you're also good for me to go to DCS. If you don't object after a little while, then I'll just go to DCS. I have time. How much time have you got, Viper?
Quite a lot, haha.
Okay. I'm not hearing anyone else say that they don't want to go to DCS. Hold on. So we've got one YouTuber and one Twitcher. So, okay, now it does take a couple of, well, let's say a minute or so to swap between the programs, between the flight sims. And during that time I will lose comms for a little while, but if you're happy I will do that. So I'll give you one more, so if you like confirm to go to DCS, just say yeah, DCS or something like that.
That's all right.
Okay, right, and that'll be in my spit, of course. When I go to DCS I'll be flying a spit, so if you watch what I'm doing and I can talk through it, then you'd be able to actually start a real live
Yes.
spit. Okay, so stand by then. This is just getting out of this program, takes a second or two. So now I'm going to quit to desktop. Beyond that I will lose comms for a little while, so bear with me. Okay, you should be able to hear me now. So let me know if you're seeing the initial screen for DCS, a lovely Spitfire in front of you.
I can hear you. I love that spit.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so I'm going to fly a mission that Laxor, my squad mate, goes for. Or designed. Hold on. Okay, right, yeah. So Laxor, my usual squad mate, designed this mission, and he also has it in multiplayer version. So when he's there, we fly together in this mission. So I'm going to go to that one now. Right, it'll take a second or two to load.
The hold on is blocking the screen.
Oh, thank you, Viper. That's my usual trick. I'm sorry about that. Hold on. Okay, bit of a skeleton aircraft at the moment while it catches up. The noise you just heard was the cockpit, the canopy opening. Leave it for a minute. While I'm outside the aircraft, I will demonstrate some of the stuff to do with DCS, such as if I move my stick here, if I move this stick, if you look at the pilot in the cockpit, his stick moves as well. It's still catching up a little bit at the moment, so it's not perfectly in time.
Nice.
Another little trick, if I jump into the aircraft, it's still catching up. Hold on. Oh, it hasn't even drawn the aircraft yet. Hold on. Could be because there's been an update which I haven't yet taken, so it's might be sort of thinking about that. But it will get there. There we are. The inside of an actual spit. If you can start the spit here, you can start it for real. So yeah, if I look to my right and then jump out of the aircraft, you'll see the pilot is looking to the right, which is a nice little touch. Jumping back in. Oh, I'll check my surfaces first. You're hearing a large jet aircraft fuel tanker taking off. And of course, if you're inclined to take up the right kind of aircraft in DCS, which you have to buy, because you get a few free aircraft, but to buy, you'd have to buy many of them as well if you want them. and you would actually be able to train, and you'd actually be able to refuel from those tankers if you so wanted to try it. Okay, so checking my surface. I also have rudder pedals, of course, that you can't see. Jumping back in. I'll talk through the process. This might not be exactly in the right order, but it's all the things you have to do. And a few things that you don't have to do, like putting lights on. I'll do that just so that other people in the area might know that I'm getting started.
Whoa, that is awesome. Yeah, I might get the Viper 16 sometime if I ever get DCS.
Yeah. So we've got nav lights. I'll jump in and put the others on. Right, so now I've got the lights on the top, and in case you didn't know, a light on the top, a light on the belly, which you can see the floor being illuminated from, and of course the nav lights and a tail light. And if you didn't know, the light at least on the top, I'm not sure about the tail and the belly lights, but you can use Morse code. If your radio was to bust or get shot, then you can use Morse code to operate those lights to talk to other aircraft. If I jump back in again, the button just there can be used for Morse code when you have these switches set appropriately. Another point that's interesting, if you're not aware, I'm going to point at some objects on the side. I don't know if you'll be able to guess what they are, or if you know what they are, but what do you reckon? What do you think these items here are? Any idea what those are, Viper?
Honestly, I don't know. Maybe backup lights, haha.
Not so much ha actually, because these are light bulbs, spare bulbs, and the reason that you have them is because the site is illuminated site. It's illuminated by a bulb. The bulb sits down here. There's the cable that the bulb connects to. So you unplug it, change the bulb and plug it in. And the reason was because they were just ordinary, of course, incandescent bulbs, and they had a habit of the element blowing. So if your element blew, you had no illuminated site. So they provided 3 spare bulbs just in case. Okay, I'll go through the startup the way I do it anyway. And the first thing I'm going to do is put on my panel lights, and then there's a couple of covers for buttons, like the boost button and the starter button, which you have to press at both at the same time. I have to open those covers, so I'm going to put the lights on and open those covers. So there you are, there's a couple of buttons there, one's for booster and one's for starter. Just below them you can see the fuel cut-off lever. It's off at the moment, so I'm gonna, let's put it back normal view. Right, so I'm now gonna put the fuel pump on, and you'll hear that hopefully, and then I'll open the fuel cock. I can just about hear the fuel pump, it's not loud. Open the fuel cock, that lever. And now I need to turn on the magnetos that are going to give the sparks to the engine. I'm now ready to prime, but before I start the engine I should ask permission. So on this occasion, most of the time I don't, but on this occasion I'll check for permission.
Mazda, Chevy, 1-1. Request startup.
He's going to say yes.
Mazda, cleared for startup.
Okay, so I can now start the engine, but first of all I want to make sure the brake is fully on. The brake is that silver lever on the stick. It's now fully on, and make sure the prop pitch is set to the fully fine position, which it is at the moment, but I'll move the lever so you can see. Another interesting point is that lever is normally left back there because that way it's not putting strain on the cable. So when you shut the engine down and you leave the aircraft, it's left there so that the cable isn't constantly being stretched even though the aircraft isn't in use. Push it forward, it's now pulling on that cable to put the prop pitch to fully fine. Okay, so those are all set. When I start the engine by pressing those two buttons, which I have to use the home and delete keys because I can't do it with a mouse, the engine will start to turn. When it starts to fire, I will then throw another button at the back of the throttle unit here, which will throw this lever, the fuel mixture, forward, and then I'll be running. So first I'm going to just crack the throttle a little bit. Brake is definitely on. Now I can actually start. And I didn't prime it, did I? That's when I'm explaining what to do, it takes me longer and I get out of the rhythm. The thing I should have done is primed it. Okay, that should do it. I'll give that another try. Notice the aircraft rocks around a little bit because of the torque from the engine. So whilst that's sitting there, I'm going to adjust my altimeter. And I'm going to set the nose down trim to 1/3 of a division below level. Something I've also noticed, something I often forget, and I've forgotten it this time, is a little switch in that region there, which I can't easily see, that turns on the light for the gear, and it tells me whether the gear is up or down. Of course I know it's down, that's not a problem, but when you're coming into land you like to see it change from up to down. So let's see if I can get to that switch and turn it on. Okay, it will also turn on by pushing the throttle forward, which is okay to do when the engine isn't running, but if the engine's running you're going to vroom the engine, aren't you? So okay, I'm going to now set my nose down trim ready for takeoff. Look at that screw, it looks a bit worn, doesn't it? That's a nice little touch. That's probably about okay. So now I'm also going to give some right rudder. It's probably about right. I'll put the pitot heat on so that we don't ever lose the ability to see how fast we're going. Okay, so now I want to be out of taxi and I have to ask permission for that.
Mazda, Chevy, 1-1. Request taxi to runway.
What have I done?
1,
Oh,
Marduk, clear to taxi to runway 26.
obviously still drinking his tea. Okay, so just to explain before I go about taxiing, on a spit you don't have toe brakes. I can tilt my toes forward on my pedals so that I can have a right foot brake and a left foot brake on the wheels. On a spit you don't have that. You only have one brake lever, so that brake lever there. Here we go. And the way you turn is, if you want to turn right, you give it full right rudder and then you apply some brake. Okay, and likewise the opposite for turning left. So it's very uncomfortable, not comfortable at all in a spit, but it's real, it's the way it actually is. So brake off. I'm going to turn right out of the parking area, a little short run, and then turn a left to a taxiway that will take me to the runway. So I'm constantly adjusting the rudder and the brake, and possibly even the throttle. My cockpit is open, and that is the correct procedure, because if anything goes wrong, the ground crew need to be able to oik me out of the aircraft as quickly as possible without having to smash through a canopy to get to me. So the cockpit stays open until I've taken off, then I can close it. But likewise, when I'm going to land, I have to open the cockpit for the same reasons. There's a string of red stuff over there, and that's because I didn't turn them off. I'm going to stop for a second and turn them off. That's the enemy markers, which I don't want on, because they wouldn't have had them, so I'm going to turn them off. Gone. Here we go. Before I get to the runway, I'll stop just short of it and ask for permission to take off.
Ah, thanks for telling me about the canopy. I always thought why they kept them open cause of the noise.
Yeah, it does get noisy, but it's the safest option. So putting my brake on, hold on.
Mazda, Chevy, 1,
He's gonna say
request
yes.
takeoff.
So I'm going to go.
Chevy 1, Marduk, you are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 29.39.
And then I'll explain, before I take off, I'll explain what I have to do during takeoff, so you can see what I'm doing without me having to try to explain it at the time, because it's not that easy and I have to concentrate a bit. So brake is now fully on. To take off in a spit, in the same way the accuracy is there for taxiing, like to make turns using your brake and your rudder, this is just as accurate. To take off in a spit, I have to give it full elevator, full right aileron, and as I throttle up, I have to gradually allow the stick to come back to its pretty much normal position. When we're there, it will lift off. Once it's lifted off, I have to adjust my nose up on nose trim to 1 division of nose up. Once I've done that, I then will adjust the prop pitch to give 2,700 revs on the engine, and then I can close my canopy. So whilst I'm taking off, there's a phrase called dancing on the rudder pedals. So I will be doing that. I will try to show that as I'm taking off, but my priority is to try to get off the ground. So I'm going to adjust my track IR a little bit to make it easier for me to show you that, hopefully. Hold on. Right, I can now look down a little bit and you can see my feet. Hopefully you'll be able to see what's going on. I can't guarantee that. So I'll take off my brake and then pull stick back, full right aileron, and away we go. Gear up, adjust the trim, adjust my prop pitch, and close my canopy. And somehow I've hit the button and shown all those targets again, so I'm going to turn them off.
You closed the canopy.
Yep, I've closed the canopy now, yeah. Once you've taken off, you can close the canopy. Did you not see that? I can open it and close it again if you want to see that. I put my sight on.
Oh sorry, I did see that the delay made it so I said it later.
Oh, okay, right, so my sight is on. I've got to make my guns ready. There's a small pip on the top of the stick which I have to make sure shows as the guns are not safe, so I can then fire them. Don't know if you saw that. There's a line of trucks directly in front of me which I'll see what I can do with. Sometimes I get most of them, sometimes I get just one or two. And sometimes I crash. That's what you call the other way of destroying the enemy. Okay.
Ha ha.
Yeah. I don't normally do that. That is a rarity, I've got to say. Oh, I'm going to have to take a different slot. It's not letting me go back into slot 56, so I'm going to have to go to slot 10. So I've already explained all the startup, so I don't have to do it through again. I'll just do it. Something just exploded. It's probably where when you hit trucks, they'll burn for a while, and then later on you'll see them explode. That's another nice little touch. So I'm going to do all the stuff I did before, but I'm not going to worry about asking for permission. I'm just going to do it. Over on the right, Gaz 66 destroyed. So I've hit a number of them. I don't know how many I got because I crashed before I found out. I made the mistake of touching the rudder pedal. You've only got to touch it slightly and it kicks the aircraft round, and then you've got to struggle to get it back where you want it. And I was very close to the units I was trying to hit, so that made it very difficult to be able to do that. Okay, so I'm going to
The
go
Rat
through the...
pilot uniforms are so neat.
They are, and if I turn my head round, you'll see the crown and the eagle. When I was in the Air Training Corps here in UK, my buttons were the same, just that they were silver instead of golden or brassy. Right, here I go.
RAF asterisk.
Yeah, that's right. I realised you meant RAF rather than rat. Okay, I'll try and remember the whole lot this time instead of missing bits out, like priming it. Okay, I'm going to taxi, brake off. I'm going to turn left this time because I'm further along. The runway is closer if I turn left out of this one. I'll go back to that area where I was shooting the trucks and see how many I got. Which doesn't really matter, because if you kill yourself in the process, it's no good. The thing to remember about a Spitfire, one of the ladies who used to transport aircraft from airfield to airfield, including Spitfires, of the Spitfire, she said, she's a lady in the air, but she's a bitch on the ground. Not very comfortable at all on the ground. The system you're hearing is of course the pneumatics of the brake. which I'm constantly giving little touches on. So what's your impression of DCS and the Spitfire in DCS, Viper?
I never liked streams in general, but I swear your streams are so fun and informative, which is why I'm subbed. I love your channel.
Oh good, thank you very much, that's very nice of you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. The only reason I stream is actually not for subscriptions. I only stream because there will be people out there that would to watch it and get good fun from it, but aren't necessarily in a position to do it for various reasons. So it's nice to be able to share it, and it's even nicer when people join the channel and they have a chat with me and I can explain stuff which they didn't know about, maybe, you know, such as the light bulbs that you half knew about, and the cockpit. What you don't know also at the moment is I'm struggling a little bit because I'm using a computer chair on wheels, and what I normally do is I've got a restraint that prevents my computer chair from rolling back as I'm using my rudder pedals, but I haven't put it in, so I'm fighting.
I love DCS and always like watching startups for jets.
Oh, they take a while, don't they? Yeah, that's a proper procedure. In the Spit it's much quicker, but yeah, I don't go for jets. They've never done anything for me. I don't fly jets in War Thunder. I've got plenty of stuff. I've got about 45 million, literally 45 million Silver Lions in War Thunder, so I could buy anything I wanted to, but the jets just don't do it for me. I've got a few just to try them, but jets just don't do it for me. I like the piston engine. Look at the exhaust. See that you're getting little red flame coming out the exhaust there. If I throttle up hard, then it'll probably go redder, and when I slacken off it'll go bluer because of the mixture becoming more rich or more weak as I use the throttle. Right, so once again I don't need to explain the takeoff procedure on what I have to do. You've got that idea, I'm sure. So I'm going to take the brake off and do the necessary and see if I can take off comfortably.
I see why it's attractive. It reminds you of driving a car.
I couldn't look at that message just then. I couldn't hear it properly. Let me have a look. Hold on. Yeah, the thing about a car is it's only two dimensions, isn't it? It's forward, back, left, right. Aircraft, forward, back, left, right, up, down. It's the 3 dimensions, and that's why I love flying. I'll put my sight on again. Make my guns ready. And of course there are train tracks down there and you can shoot the trains, but of course they cause a bit of a log jam. You shoot the train, it can't move, so all the trains behind it. Oops, I'm near a bridge, hold on, that bridge has got stuff that will shoot at me. Yeah, so if you shoot the train then other trains can't get past and you end up with a big traffic jam have changed. It looks like I got a few of those trucks. That's all. You have to be very careful not to use the rudder. Green Tracer. Well, I got the one I shot. There's also some fuel lorries, tankers on the road, so perhaps I'll hit a couple of those. Perhaps I'll miss them all completely. It's not a very good show, was it? I'll give it another go. The shooting's not normally that bad. And they've scattered now off the road.
You're making work of the trucks, you're a flying ace.
Well, I usually can do more trucks. On the first pass I only got 3 and I crashed. Not the last time I did it, the last time I flew in DCS by myself like this, I got 7 out of the 9 and didn't crash. There's a train down there. Oh, let's go for it. That got it. Yeah, the train has stopped. I'm going to carry on flying in this direction. I'm not going to go and hit those ground units anymore. There's another bunch of vehicles over to the east of the airfield, and they will shoot back at me. Normally I can get rid of them all, but I've now used a lot of my ammo, so we'll see. First I've got to find them. There they are, just to the right. But these will shoot back at me. Yep, there's a smoke down there. Just to the left of my sight there's the burning vehicle. Got that one. So I got that one. I doubt if I'll get all 7 because I'm going to probably run out of ammo. I don't think that's enough to kill him. That's my shadow down there.
Been a while.
Oh, I've lost my way. Marek, hello. Oops, that wing got a little bit too close to the ground in as much as it got ripped off. Flying on one wing and one shot upwind. Now, landing in a spit is what you might call fun at the best of times. Oh, I've got flames licking around my feet. So who knows what's going to happen here with one wing missing. Definitely need the cockpit open now. Get out. Well, one gear anyway. I've only got one, haven't I? And flaps maybe. This could be dicey.
Hold on a one-winged split truly British magic, haha.
If I can walk away, I'm happy. And I can. So I'm happy. I'll jump out. And literally walk away. Yeah,
Ha
okay.
ha ha ha.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Do need a new aircraft though. If it wasn't too badly damaged, if I was still in it, I'd be able to ask them to repair it.
I love that feature.
And reload. Oh, what, the walk away feature? Yeah, that's quite nice. And when you bail out, if you look up, you see your parachute above you as well. And when you get close to the ground, you'll see the feet come together and the knees come up slightly, ready for impact. It's quite nice. On one occasion I did bail out and I landed on a road not too far from my airfield, so I decided to walk back to the airfield, but I got run over by a truck. So I'm going to get a new aircraft. I'll choose 56 again because that's what I normally prefer. That's just the slot, that the parking area is number 56.
Wait. Second. I think I have déjà vu.
What, you mean like me crashing? I don't normally crash as much as this.
I heard that from a comment once.
Heard what? Which particular? Okay, I'll go through the old usual startup procedure. I see we've got 2 people from YouTube. and one person from Twitch. If you have the ability to type something in the chat and say hello, that would be great, and I'll respond with voice as I am with Viper.
I got hit by a truck while crossing the road.
Oh,
Hello from
okay.
Greece.
Yeah, okay. Oh, Carpe Diem, thank you for saying hello. Thanks for joining me. Hello to you, sir. Is that Carpe Diem? It's not an L, is it? It's not Carpedlum. It's got to be Carpe Diem. From Greece, yes. Sounds right to be Carpe Diem. Thanks for joining. Thanks for saying hello. So, I'm going through the startup procedure now. Fuel on, might hear it. Fuel cock open. Make sure the brake is fully on. Make sure the prop pitch is fully forward. And turn on the light for the gear. So that's on. Right, so start engine.
We played War Thunder once long ago, if you remember. You
I
were
do.
always in a Spitfire.
Yeah, and guess what this is? I thought I recognised the name, but it was probably just the once or just a small amount. Have you watched DCS before, Carpedium? I'm not sure if Carpedium got that, but I did ask if you've seen DCS before. Also remember, folks, that there is about a 13-second delay between me saying something and you hearing it, or me doing something and you seeing it. It's not intended. I don't want it. I'd like it to be totally without delay, but I can't do anything about it. So I'm going to start the engine.
Yes. You showed me the Spitfire startup procedure once with details.
Oh, right, okay. But that's what I've just done for Viper as well. So if the other person from YouTube, I've got 4 people it seems from YouTube at the moment. If you'd like to give me a hello, I will actually hear it, so it should get my attention. So if you have the ability to type in the chat, please do say hello. I'll carry on starting up procedure. Oh, something has changed, and now my mouse, instead of press if I jump out, hold on. No, it's still doing it. I'm going to have to respawn in this aircraft. The mouse, instead of turning the lock device on the fuel primer, it's
Sorry, I have to go. Thank
Zoom
you
in.
for this great stream. Keep doing what you are doing. You actually gave me the courage to fly and try the Spitfire in a game I usually play. Goodbye.
okay.
Good night, Viper.
Thank you for that, Viper. Thanks very much. Thanks for joining me. Have a great sleep. Catch you again sometime, hopefully. So I'm going to have to change my aircraft because my mouse wheel is behaving oddly and I don't know what causes it. I'm going to have to go out and come back in again. It won't take long. But I've got to jump out of this one. I've got to go to slot 10 again. That's a pain. Okay. Here we go, and I'll do that again. I don't know what causes the mouse wheel to do that, but it really messes things up for me. Okay, I'm ready to prime and start.
Maybe it causes by clicking that voice chat window.
I'm not sure. It's probably a combination. If I'm speaking, my push to talk actually includes the control button, the control key. So when you use the control key, if you do something else, then it can have an effect, and it might be to do with that. When I'm doing certain things, I probably have to make sure that I'm not talking using my push to talk button, because that does cause issues. Such as if I'm talking now, if I was to try to do certain things, it just wouldn't do it until I stop talking, then it will work. So I'm going to jump out briefly. Jump back in. Okay, I believe I'm in the right place. That's the trouble with breaking off from my normal procedure. But I might have forgotten something. I don't think so. Here we go. Right, brake is on. That's important, because otherwise when the engine starts it will drag me along. So I have to now push those two buttons that I've opened the flaps on. That's the boost and the starter to get the engine turning, and then I throw the fuel mixture lever forward to get it running properly. Here we go. Right, I'm in parking bay 10, so I'll be turning left out of here, but first I've got a couple of things to do. Set my nose down, ready for takeoff. And I'll do likewise rudder trim. I'll give it some right rudder trim. I'm not going to ask permissions, etc. to take off and do all those things. I'm just going to go. Just making sure I've done everything I wanted to do. I haven't got my gear light on, so I'm going to have to try and get to that switch, which is not that easy. Okay, gear indicator light is now on. So I'm going to turn left out of here. I'm not sure who's there at the moment. Must be just be Carpedium and someone on Twitch.
Yes, I am still here. We'll watch the takeoff. and after a bit I will go to sleep.
Roger that, Copedium. I'll actually possibly just do a takeoff and landing anyway. It's nearly 1 AM for me. I really should have put my chair restraint, computer chair restraint in
It's
because
3
I'm
a.m.
wobbling.
here.
3? Oh right. I have flown up to about 4 o'clock in the morning, but not recently. Okay, just checking that I've got stuff as I need it, which I believe I have. Oh, the chair is definitely rolling around. Doesn't make takeoff or landing easier. Right. Brake fully off. Brake fully off, and away we go. Of course, in a spit, getting your wheels on the ground isn't the end of landing by a long shot. Because once you're down, the aircraft wants to go all over the place. And that's what the lady was saying when she said she's a lady in the air, but a bitch on the ground, and that's what she meant.
Have you tried IL2 moving?
I have, I've got it, but I can't get on with it. It's not enough in cockpit ability. It's not as realistic as DCS. So I have got it. In fact, I might have even taken it off. I can't remember now, but I didn't use it for a long time. I like a fully functional cockpit, that's the thing. Right, to land I have to open my cockpit, put my prop pitch fully forward.
Fully functional cockpit is way better. It's bad they don't have that feature.
Yeah, it is a pity. But I suppose it would need a complete revamp of it to make it do that. I'll try to show my gear going down, but that's always dangerous. But I'm going to try. Or mostly I do it. Right, I'll put my gear down now to give some time. And now some flaps, which are more like air brakes on a spit. Well, as spit landings go, I'm okay with that one. So, Carpe Diem, I suspect you'll be tucking yourself into bed now, so have a good sleep, sir.
This was a very nice small flight. I have to go to sleep now. Have a good night.
Okay, Carpe Diem, thanks very much for that. Thanks for joining me. It was nice talking to you. And maybe I'll catch you another time. Okay then.
Thank you.
You're most welcome, sir. And there I have one Twitch viewer. So now speaking to my Twitch viewer, just to let you know, I'm going to now close the stream because it's 1 o'clock in the morning for me. So it won't do any harm for me to turn in. I'll put my flaps up, but I'll show you them first. Look at those flaps, they're more like air brakes. I'll put them up. Crazy flaps on the spit. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to close the stream. So if you're still there, Carpe Diem, thanks very much. Catch you again another time. If you're still there, Twitch person, because I know sometimes it takes a while to update. If you're still there, Twitch person, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. People can't always type into the chat, but it's nice when they can. So good night, everybody, and maybe I'll catch you another time somewhere in the future. So Bill 1949 signing off. TTFN